In last week's video, Alex, Chris, and I took out 3 high-speed e-bikes. I started on the E-Aura Romeo Ultra and then switched over to the E-Cells 5-Star 2. Now, let's take a look at the Ghost Cat.
Alright, hopping on the Ghost Cat. Which version is this?
This is the F3.
The F3?
So 52 volts, 40 amp controller. They are upgrading it to a 45 amp controller, and they're coming out with a 60 volt version of this soon. That goes over 40, so that's going to be interesting.
Huh.
That'll be crazy, but
Ooh, this thing's super plush. Very comfy.
yeah.
Chris is struggling with the no throttle issue. Oh, here we go.
Tyler, that's probably a perfect size bike for you.
Even for me, it's kind of small. This thing's tiny. I will say, of all of like the moped hub motorbikes that I've ridden on so far, this is definitely the most comfortable suspension. Yeah, it's got good torque. Man, the suspension is so good on this little bike. If your kid is asking for a Sur-Ron and you don't trust them with the power bit, something like this is a really good option. I mean, this isn't like hardcore off-road, but it's doing it really well. Oh, I didn't expect you guys to stop.
We gotta turn around.
Oh, okay.
That's my bad.
Straight over the mud. Alex was warning me that if you grab the front brake kind of hard, it likes to lock up, so I'm trying to be fairly mindful of that. The kickstand vibrates a ton on this bike. Can you stand on it? Oh yeah, the front end's a little low to be able to stand on it. Which is kind of awkward for terrain like this, but I think this is definitely more, I mean, I don't know. It's weird because the suspension feels pretty great for off-road, but the handlebars are quite low in like a mountain bike position where I kind of would prefer a little bit more upright dirt bike riding position. But it's really having no problem tearing up this little trail over here. It's just scary coming down stuff. It's, just the riding position for it. This bike would be way more comfortable with some high-rise handlebars. Maybe like a 3-inch lift up. Woo, that was muddy. Hello. This is a fun route. I like this. This is a fun little bike. I really like this actually. Going up hills like that, even at slow speed, not a problem. The classic brake screeching. Oh yeah, and we're at a very comfortable performance level where we can just kind of hold down the throttle and get it moving. This thing's easily doing 30. It definitely can do more than that. Probably not a lot more than 30, but it's not bad. I wish the kickstand wasn't rattling around as much, and I probably should have worn some goggles or maybe my other helmets. I'm getting dirt kicked up in my eyes, and it's kind of hard to see. I am happy to report that this bike does not have any rattles besides that kickstand sound. It feels super solid, even going over a little bit of this more rougher terrain. And this seat is gotta be one of the best seats I've ever felt on a stock bike. I think it's probably an option. These are made by Tapia Seat, I believe. And yeah, super plush, super comfortable. This bike really is like a baby Sur-Ron. This is the Sur-Ron I would buy my kid. Give them a little bit of time to learn before you give them the more powerful stuff.
Checking this. See this? The one downside about this, I gotta tighten some screws. It keeps like loosening right here. And I think the contact is like...
Is that what the power cutting might have been?
It could be, yeah. It might be.
I like this thing.
Oh, the ghost cat?
Yeah. I think it needs like a high-rise handlebar. It needs to be like 3 inches taller.
You sit on, you're like facing down almost.
Yeah. But besides that, like, I've never felt a hub motor bike that feels as smooth off-road as this one does.
I mean, it has. The suspension travel is ridiculous. Yeah, that's just something you gotta really get in there and tighten a couple things, and then it's fine, but I hear it rattling a bit, you know.
And I feel like this could use like a stronger spring in the kickstand, because you just hear...
So, yeah, people bungee it together, or I think they have an aftermarket kickstand you can buy. Ghost Cat sells them. They also have shown you can put like a little Velcro thing inside to stop it from moving as much. There's some fixes, but overall, yeah.
This is the Sur-Ron you should buy your kids.
Yeah. And it's got pedals, so you're not going to get it impounded.
That's one of the nicer E-Motos, just styling-wise. That's tight, man.
I mean, it's definitely still an e-bike, but it's close to that E-Moto feel.
I call it a baby Sur-Ron, like a really baby Sur-Ron.
I agree with that.
Let's keep going. We got a little. Hopefully, it's not too like flooded. We got a little bit more to go off road, and then we can keep going. If you guys want to switch again, let me know.
I'm really enjoying this thing.
I guess we'll keep going. Chris, we can switch at some point.
Yeah, I don't really like the bike.
Yeah.
Me neither. It left me feeling silly twice. Yeah, because the only sound I hear vibrating on this bike is that kickstand, and that's a good thing. Kickstands pretty often do that. I took the one off of my Razor, and I actually just replaced it because that one was making a bunch of noise. But this little bike, and this thing is little. I'm a small rider, and I feel like this bike is just about my size, even maybe a little small for me. If you're a big guy, this probably isn't the bike for you. Oh my god, that's really deep mud. I just felt the whole bike sinking. I was like, oh no, don't stop here. Yeah, I wouldn't say this is the fastest bike, but the throttle response is quite good for a hub motor bike, especially a bike like this. I really didn't think that this bike would be my favorite of these three, but I think it is. I like the 5-star. The problem with the 5-star is that it's a little too big for me. This bike's slightly too small for me, but it's definitely usable, and I think with some light modifications, this could be basically a perfect e-bike for a lot of people. A little bit of a hydro tunnel up ahead. That's gonna be wet. How are you feeling about this one, Chris?
Not good.
No? You don't think you can make it straight down the center?
It's so muddy over here. Look.
Alex is off-roading over there.
He's paving a way for us. Let's see if he makes it first. I'm not going up to he actually makes it. Already found the high ground. Let's go.
And the famous Eora stopping problem. It's not famous yet, but... Oh, Alex has stopped. I don't know if I want to... I'm not trying to go in the mud. I'm glad I waited. There he is. How'd that go?
It was fine. There's just like a watery area. Oh, shit. Muddy as hell.
Holy shit, dude. I was going there.
I guess we're turning around.
Yep, this might not be the spot that we go. Look at that. Alex is like 4 inches deep into the mud.
Okay. Yeah,
Lead the way.
That's pretty muddy.
Sure was. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I really like this bike. I'm gonna contact Ghost Cat after this ride and see if they'll give me a discount code for you guys if you're interested in this bike. But of these three, this is the one that I recommend. This is the one that I would actually ride if I owned. I personally like smaller vehicles and bikes because I'm a small guy. I don't need a giant monster bike like the E-Cells or the Eora. I'm not the biggest fan of that Eora back there. That battery range is very cool, but the performance and the weight just doesn't really cut it for me. I believe they have a 60-volt version of this bike coming out, and this headwind is incredibly strong. We're getting like 25, almost 26 miles an hour on this bike at the moment, even though it is at half battery. This thing's super nimble and playful. Watch out for the gravel on our route. But yeah, the 5-star, definitely a faster bike. You can tell with the 2 batteries that it has way less voltage tag. I mean, the single battery on this is not going to hold up quite to the same levels that a dual battery bike, especially a 60-volt one at that. I like this bike. I'll have this thing linked in the description below. Hopefully I'll have a discount code for you guys, but I don't have one yet at the time of writing this.
The dual motor version is probably even heavier.
Yeah, I can't imagine even that.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, the Monstar is pretty heavy. You'll try that today. That thing is a heavy bitch also.
And if you're not subscribed to these guys' channels, check the links below. I'll have them linked.
Yeah, write these things down.
And unlike the very annoying Eora, this bike doesn't turn itself off when you're just sitting there. I don't like that. It's supposed to be a safety feature, but it doesn't keep you safe. When I was sitting at a light, I couldn't go. On this bike, I could. Same reason I always disable the brake sensors on my E-Motos, because the only time I actually crashed my Talaria was when I was stopped and I was holding the brake and I let go, but the throttle wasn't fully reset and it shot out from under me and wiped me to the floor. I just bottomed out the suspension, but it was still quite comfortable. We're not hitting any jumps today. We got way too many bikes to film, and I'm not risking a crash. There's something so fun about being out on e-bikes with your friends. You kind of can just go anywhere with them and not worry about things too much. And this is where the boys leave me in the dust. Honestly, I'm pretty happy with this. We're doing 31 miles an hour, even though we are below half battery, it looks like. Riding through the dump now. Yeah, this thing just soaks up these bigger hits pretty well. It's always fun when you have someone else who knows where they're going and not navigate. At some point, I gotta bring these boys back out by me so they can ride some of the dirt trails out in my parts. I'm thinking I might switch to my motorcycle helmet that has the visor. That way, when I'm in the back parts of this, I can pop that visor down and shield my eyes from the sand and debris that's being kicked up by my friends up ahead. Oh, we're ripping. This is fun. This thing's so nimble. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bigger fan of these 20x4 fat tires than the 26-inch wheels. And look at this torque, half battery. We're just climbing straight up. It's so good.
What's your battery life at, Tyler?
I'm at like probably half or less.
Oh, okay, yeah, we're headed back now, so same way we got here, we're gonna head back.
Back on the road again. I do like this display on this bike. It's a little low to be checking while I'm riding, but it's nice in color and it tells you how much wattage it's actually outputting out on the screen, something that other bikes lack, which is a very good feature. Trip, it's saying that we've done 28 miles. I don't know if we had this thing reset at the beginning of this, but I think our loop is about 20 miles, so we've been giving these things the beans for quite a bit. We're still averaging a nice 32 miles an hour down this trail, so we are doing above class 3 speeds. I think this bike is geared a little bit more for torque than it is top speed, but that is okay. You see, I would rather have some low down acceleration and good mid-range speed than I would a higher top speed with no torque, no power. This bike feels powerful for what it is. Don't get me wrong, it's no Talar, it's no full Sur-Ron. It doesn't have that mid-drive potential. But again, like if my kid wanted a Sur-Ron, this is probably the bike I would start him out on and let him get a little bit more experience with something that's got a decent amount of power, but it's still a little bit safer and easier to control. I really want to try out the 60-volt version of this bike because I really like this thing. I highly recommend it. And if you are enjoying this video, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. It's free, and it's just down below the video. And I'm trying to make it to 10,000, 100,000, maybe 1 million subscribers. Who knows? I mean, that would be quite the feat, but I'm going to try and get there eventually. These nice paved rail trails are so great for bringing out these pedal electric bikes. This thing is as close as you can get to an E-Moto that I think is still completely legal and fair to bring on trails like this. I think this is sitting in a really good spot where it's got enough power to be aggressive and fun, but it's also small enough and cheap enough and looks enough like a normal bike that you don't really have to worry about bringing this thing out. With like the 5 stars and that E-Aura, those bikes are freaking huge. And yes, they are faster. Like, look at that thing go. But everything has its balance. Those bigger bikes are much harder to transport. They're hard to get on and off for shorter people like me. Something like this, you can't pedal on where you can on that. I said this in other videos and I'll say it again. You need to figure out what you want from your bike. No one can make that decision on what is the best bike because the truth is there is no best bike. There's a best bike for you. There's no overall, this one is better than everything else because everybody's different sizes and weights and they fit onto them differently. While the Monstar and the 5-star are great for guys like Alex and Chris, they're not so great for me because when I'm on them, to get a good pedal stroke, I'm so high up that it just feels awkward. Or something like this, it's still awkward because you can't pedal, but it's more me size. Again, I would personally customize this if this was in my fleet. High-rise handlebars for sure. This seat is literally the best I've freaking felt. The suspension, excellent. The power, really good. Not the most insane thing I've ever felt, again, but quality.
Yeah, when you went by, I'm like, geez, that thing's like a full-blown motorcycle.
It's,
Where's 150 pounds?
150 pounds, yeah. They're a good time, though.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
This one's awesome. Look at the suspension on this thing.
Yeah, the weight rims, nice. I like the head. I like the whole light setup.
Yeah.
I actually brought a tow strap with me. I'm not even kidding. Just in case, like,
Oh,
one of
that's
us ran
smart.
out of battery. Just you never know.
Yeah, we're getting close, so. We are at 47.8 volts on this thing, so hopefully this thing will make it back to Alex's house. I'm not 100% confident that it will, but I hope so. Come on, go Scat. You can do it, buddy. Oh yeah, I'm losing some MPHs. I'm still holding strong. Kind of. We are definitely not doing traffic speeds now.
Most battery out of all of them. And Tyler, we're getting a little range anxiety on his bike.
I'm losing some speed on the top end. We're gonna tuck, try and get more aerodynamic. I mean, 46 volts, we're still doing 27 miles an hour up this. We're just keeping her pinned and still doing 30 miles an hour even though we're at the last stretches of this battery. I'm pretty impressed. We're definitely losing Alex. Your boy is flying up there. Doing a little lane splitting on me, but
Oh, no.
yeah, this thing doesn't quite keep up at the high end.
Especially now that the voltage is lower.
Yeah, we got a pin now. We're definitely losing torque. Still pulling 1500 watts though, even this close to the end of the battery. It's not bad. We're gonna keep running it down until it's 0. $45.9 volts. It's still ripping pretty good for this low voltage. All right, well, this bike is full dead, boys. So Chris,
Seen anyone get towed before.
I've never been towed before, so let's see how this goes. Yep. Yep, it's working. Chris is towing me back to Alex's house. I've never done this before, but it seems to be working pretty well. So I'm learning real quick, the trick to being towed is keep the lines somewhat taut. If they slow down, you gotta slow down too. Look at that. Ghost Cat still doing 25 miles an hour, even when being towed. Not sure how this is gonna work.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'll just keep some slack.
Yeah, just
Talk.
sketchy.
This is such a mess. I'm shocked at how well this is working. Good. All right. Tyler's guide on how to get towed. First, find yourself a friend with a bike with big batteries. Second, hook up a slightly bungee rope. Step 3, stay a perfect distance where the line is always taut. You gotta be ready on your brakes to make sure that it works. And if you follow this guide, if this happens to you, you'll know what to do. Whoa. You good? I'm good.
That's right on the road.
Yep.
Going around corners is sketchy.
Yeah. It yanks your tire that way, and I'm just like, pulled the other way. No, we're good though, right now. Yeah, the starting and stopping is the scary part. Once you get going, it's actually pretty comfortable to get towed on a bike.
I figure we could do like a wrap-up talk here, and then grab the other bikes. So we are done with part 1 of the, whatever we'll call it, e-bike mashup. So, overall thoughts on these bikes, what do you guys think?
I really like the Ghost Cat. Always liked the 5-star. That bike, it's a little bit heavy, a little bit big, and without the dual motor, I think it's a little slow.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
I hate this e-bike. It's passion. There's nothing great about this e-bike. I mean, it's too heavy. It's too rattly. It's ugly, I think.
Chris, tell them what you meant.
I mean, yeah. No thanks. No thanks at all.
If you want a bike with a seat that looks like this,
Yeah.
buy that one.
This is a much more fun e-bike. I love the looks. We need more colored rims in the e-bike industry. What's going on here, guys? Colored rims sell e-bikes. They look better. They look 10 times better. And of course, I'm just a huge fan of e-cells, so you know it's the perfect bike for me. And that's my thoughts.
Awesome. Well, yeah, unfortunately, the biggest downside about the Ghost Cat, at least this one, is the small battery we had to, or Chris had to tow Tyler back. How was that experience? This is the first time using this tow.
First time I've towed somebody. I've been towed, and yeah, it's jerky. Going around corners is sketchy.
Yeah.
You really have to straighten the bikes out and then start going.
And you towed him uphill on a single motor bike. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Honestly, it wasn't too bad. The trick to being towed is to keep tension in the line.
Yeah. Guys, well, that's the end of part 1 of this little e-bike mashup. We're going to go back to my house, grab some faster bikes, probably some dual motor bikes, and then we'll see you guys on part 2, or however I split this video up.
The Ghost Cat I tested was the 52 volt 20 amp hour battery bike. The new one is going to have 60 volt 25 amp hours. And in the next video, we're taking a look at 2 all-wheel drive 52 volt bikes, along with Alex's Motor Goat V3. The Anioki A8 Pro Max is a dual motor long range bike, and so is the E-Cells King's Crown. But you're going to want to hit that subscribe button down below, because we tested so many more bikes than just these. So those will be coming up on the channel very soon. But we're going to start off the next video on the 7 kilowatt Motor Goat V3.